somewhere in the fall. You hear the ruckus of shouts from cheerleaders, fans, and coaches, and the clattering of instruments. You can also smell burgers, brats, hot dogs, whatever your high school cooks. Popcorn? Oh, yes, popcorn. Popcorn? Yeah. Anyway, you watch as the QB overthrows the wide receiver and they bring out the punt team. If you haven't been able to tell by now, you're watching a high school football game, or just any football game. You've probably never really thought of this, but have you guys ever questioned where football came from and how much it's changed? Good evening, folks. My name is Tyler Jacobson, and I'm a football player. So, I've been playing football since I was 3, so practically a genius, But, been watching it since I was a week old, so that makes me even more of a genius on football.
Oh, jeez.
So I know this topic may be boring to some, probably the girls here. But
Yeah.
I challenge you to sit back and try and learn a little about the history of my favorite sport. So, today I'll give you a brief history of one of the most exciting and biggest sports in the U.S. I'll start with the creation of football and the roots of the sport played on the gridiron. Next, we'll move on to learn about how offenses are ran currently and where these ideas came from. And then we'll throw it back a couple years, see how positions such as running back are affected by this new offense. Football is a sport with a rich history that has changed drastically from its creation. To start, I'm going to talk about the creation of football. So, the website History of America Football, Past and Present, lends an example for the roots of football. American football emerged from the European game of rugby in 1879. If any of you ever heard of Walter Camp?
Yes.
You've heard of Walter Camp? So, Walter Camp created modern football in 1879 during his time playing and coaching football. The man was so good he could play and coach football at the same time. In the first games of football, the goal was to either fist the ball, punch it, or kick it past your opponent. It was so deadly that some people were dying or getting severe injuries. Despite the dangers of football and creation of modern football in 1879, the first actual football game was played in 1869. This was between Rutgers and Princeton. So, now that I've told you about the creation and roots of football, let's discuss football in current times by discussing offenses and the ideas behind those. So, the offense of football has changed drastically from the creation until the present. Upon creation, football was just extremely physical and you just had to punch or kick it. Now, it's all about the pass. You watch any game now, the QB's putting up 300 plus yards, 5 TDs. So, the new way of playing football it's called the spread, and it's the norm. Even a running team such as Iowa threw it 50 times on Saturday. The spread offense amounts to wins. This is proof enough with LSU last year when they won the Natty, probably best team in probably 20 years. And Kansas City, my favorite team. So, offense also improves stats. According to ESPN, QB's passer ratings have gone up as well as the scoring. So, where did this offense come from? It was created in 1889 by Hall Mume. I'm not really sure how to say that. When he was coaching at Iowa Wesleyan. So now that I've told you about the creation of football and football in present times, lastly, I will discuss the impact it has on certain positions. Change in sports will obviously almost impact everyone. But for this specific impact, we'll be looking at running backs. Before the inception of the spread offense, running backs were the primary source of offense. Ground and pound, triple option, everything like that. Now, with the spread offense, they're used less and less. You don't see teams run it as much as they used to before. According to Sports Illustrated article from 2017, young running backs are coming into the league faster and better, stronger, and changing the way the NFL is being played. Running backs are starting to become important again and are breaking records and only getting better. Now that you have learned a brief history of one of the biggest and most exciting sports there is, now we have learned about a brief history of one of the biggest and most exploring sports there is. We've learned about the creation of football, how current offenses and ideas were created and where they came from, as well as like how it affects certain positions such as the running back. Football, obviously a great sport to watch and play, in my opinion. Probably not for everybody in here. But in the future, I just challenge you guys to watch a football game. See like if you can learn new things from it. See if you can watch watch, but figure out what I discussed.